Hi, I'm Dean Rod Vera. If you're new to my channel, here I post videos of legal commentaries and law school advice. If you can, please press like and subscribe. It'll definitely help my channel, and I'll appreciate it. Let's begin. Law school is about reading and reading and reading, then maybe some recitation. But in recitation, sometimes professors will ask you to memorize, whether it be laws, phrases, or even sometimes rulings of cases. When you see these assignments, you're scared, you're nervous. How am I going to memorize all these things? Every lawyer you know has gone through all this. Memorization is part of law school. I am sure there are other ways for techniques in memorization, but the tips I will give today worked best for me when I was in law school. Tip number 1. Read and understand the phrase first. Before you start memorizing that part of the law, know what the law is about. I'm sure there's a textbook for that subject. Read first the commentaries, how the author of that book explained the law. Maybe there's a case about it. Understand it first before memorization. By knowing what's it about, it will be easier to memorize. If you go on and just memorize it at raw or cold, it'll be very difficult. It's like asking an art student to memorize the table of the elements. You entered law school because you love the law. Memorization is part of law school. If you don't love the law, at least passionately like it. Tip number 2. Read it out loud as you memorize. And rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. As you are reading out loud when memorizing, make sure no one can hear you. It's very difficult as you memorize, you're disturbing somebody. But if you can't avoid it, make sure you read it loud and clear so that the one you're disturbing will memorize it as well. As you're reading out loud, pretend it's a recitation. Practicing like it's recitation will actually give you confidence when it comes to the real recitation. Tip number 3. Write it down 20 times. But this is writing it longhand, not on a typewriter. Think of it like a punishment. Aren't these type of punishment making sure that you don't forget? Tip number 4. Use mnemonics if you can. Sometimes what you have to remember is a list. When you have that list, assign a letter to a word that will give you the best recall for that list. It was like music when you were in grade school. In those musical notations, there are mnemonics for the spaces and the lines. For the spaces, it's FACE, or face. For the lines, it's every good boy does fine. Make sure it's a mnemonic that you understand and it's easy to recall. If you can steal lecture notes of some former students, maybe there could be some mnemonics there. Tip number 5. This is the best tip I can give you. Read it and memorize it like a poem or a song. Laws are written in paragraph form. These are sentences longer than your last landline call. Split the phrases and memorize it line by line. If you can, put it in a Word document and press enter every time you see a comma or a period or a phrase. I'll give you an example. In constitutional law, most professors will ask you to memorize the preamble. Here's how the preamble looks like. It's long and a black paragraph. Not very enticing to memorize. But if you print it this way, look, it's easier to memorize it line by line, right? We, the sovereign people, imploring the aid of Almighty God in order to build a just and humane society and establish a government that shall embody our ideals and aspirations. As you can see, doing it that way will make it easier for you to memorize and, most importantly, understand. I am sure there are other memorization techniques out there that could help you even better, but these are the tips I used when I was in law school. Thank you for watching this video. I wish you the best of luck in your law school career and hope you become a lawyer someday. Goodbye and thank you.